Let's get to Bet on It. Brought to you by Warhorse Casino and Sportsbook. They have much better food than anything we've been talking about here at their ale house connected to the casino and sportsbook. It's incredible. Make sure you get it out there. Listen, if you're here's the deal. If you're in Nebraska right now, you got to drive somewhere to make your bets anyway. Why drive to Iowa and give your money to those losers? Stay in Nebraska. Give your money to people from Nebraska. If you're going to, drive to make the bet anyway. Drive to Warhorse Sportsbook. Download the app. Once you get there, you can make your bet quickly and easily. They've got locations in Lincoln and in Omaha. It's the best place in Nebraska to place your sports bets. All right, let's start off with the only SEC game of any consequence in the slate tomorrow. Okay. We've got Missouri and Oklahoma. Oklahoma is a 6.5-point favorite. You've got a backup quarterback for Missouri. You've got John Mateer still not playing that well after coming back from the injury, but it is a home game for the Sooners. How you feeling with Oklahoma minus 6.5?
Tough game for me. I am a big Eli Drinkowitz guy. I've also been big on Missouri the past couple of years, and they've always disappointed me, which is just kind of Missouri's MO. Mateer, I thought, is actually, I know that his stats haven't backed it up, but I don't think that he's put Oklahoma in positions to lose games, but everything else around him has worked to win. 6.5 feels like a bit much too. I think I like Oklahoma in the game, but I would say the points just make me uncomfortable. Covers? Yeah, I think Missouri covers that.
I think this is Oklahoma has to win this to stay in playoff contention. I think they win. I think maybe they get some style points as well. I'm taking the Sooners minus the 6.5.
Listen, I wouldn't mind seeing Mateer actually go off. I liked it when he was in the Heisman conversation. I thought he was a really good quarterback.
Yeah, that was very brief. That was when he was playing teams that he was used to playing at Washington State.
That is true.
The group of five.
I think I just like saying the name John Mateer.
John Mateer. It's a great name. It's a good name.
Good quarterback name.
It's a good quarterback name. It's a average quarterback so far this year.
Tough.
He's 8-7.
You're right. Come
on.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, as soon as he started playing real teams, which was my question about John Mateer in the offseason, like, hey, if he was playing an FCS schedule, I'd be thrilled to death for him. Sign him up for the Harmon Trophy tomorrow.
Lower third request, Rico. Just make one that says hashtag Ravi was right. We'll throw it on screen for 3 seconds, every time during the postseason when you're like, oh, well, here's another thing I was correct about.
Absolutely. That's my favorite. That would be my favorite part of the show, without a doubt. I think it's really interesting here. This is just a note. The Miami Virginia Tech spread is off the board. There is no
what?
There is, at least according to ESPN, there is currently no spread on that game. They've taken it off the board.
It's
very strange.
That's very odd.
And I'm trying to figure out why. I don't know if it's the James Franklin of it all, has introduced a very odd element to this game.
What's the total?
It is 48.5.
Huh.
I'm sure you can find a number somewhere, but for ESPN, which is what I use every week, it is off the board.
Let's see. Wow, that's crazy.
That's very strange. Yeah.
Oh, this one, Vegas Insider has it at 15.5 Miami.
Okay. 15.5 Miami. You know what?
That seems right.
I'm feeling a little spicy. Give me Vatek. Invigorated with the hiring of James Franklin. And
I'd go under.
Just hilarious if Miami loses to Virginia Tech to no longer be the college football.
Well, and also
that's very on brand for
history repeats itself. Stop me if you've heard this before. Miami loses a game late in the season to make themselves out of a college football playoff conversation.
Love it. Yeah. Let's do that again.
Also, the ACC being as weird as possible is what I'm rooting for, because I want only one ACC team to get in, and that is the champion. And I'm actually kind of hoping it's Duke if they win out, which would be even funnier.
Hilarious.
So, yes.
Another line that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Texas, just an 8.5-point favorite over 2-8 Arkansas.
Yeah.
At home. That's wild.
Well, so Arkansas, if you've been paying attention, they actually do play a lot of their opponents pretty close. But
listen, Taylor Green's a problem.
Yes,
but again, this is the only a slightly worse version of the Penn State argument that I'm making.
Did you say 6?
8.5.
Oh, 8.5. Oh, that is way too much.
So
way too much.
I'm gonna go DB here and say it's low for a reason. I'm gonna take Arkansas. Also, would just be hilarious if Texas lost to a 2-8 Arkansas team.
I would also second that too, just because Arkansas, I mean, notably, they're probably waiting for their big matchup. And yeah, like every SEC game matters. Sure, you can convince me of that. But something about like Texas and Arkansas, it's a premier program. It's the team that has the number on them. Arkansas gets this win. They probably feel really good about themselves. And it's probably the last game Arkansas can get themselves like high up on their season for and say, hey, at least we had a high note this year. That'd be fun.
Also a wild card in this situation. There's been a lot of weird Texas Steve Sarkisian talk this week.
A little more than just like murmurs.
Yeah,
it's like turned into whispers.
Like he had to come out and address it.
Yeah.
Maybe a little distraction. We saw Nebraska against Minnesota. Distraction is not great for a ball club.
No.
Maybe have that in Texas too. I'm taking Arkansas there. USC Oregon, by far the best game of the day. I believe that's where College Game Day is at as well.
As it should be.
Oregon, pretty heavy favorite at home here, minus 10.5.
I like USC in this game.
You like USC in this game?
I really, and you know, I'm an Oregon honk. I do like Oregon. I've been
big
a Dan
Dante Moore guy.
Huge Dante Moore guy. I don't know if I like USC enough to win. 10.5 is a lot. USC has played a lot of games close, and they have played a lot of good teams to that quality level. But as big of an Oregon honk as I've been this season, I don't know if they're 10.5 points better than USC.
Here's my pause: is I think Oregon is significantly more physical than USC. That's a recipe we've seen hurt USC, especially on the road. The only time they were able to overcome that was the Michigan win. That was at home.
So you didn't watch their Iowa win last week?
That's not a very good Iowa team.
You're talking about physicality.
That's not very good.
They won it in the rain.
Congrats.
Okay.
Also, it was at home.
Okay.
I get it was in the rain, but it was at home.
They brought the Iowa rain with them.
Sure.
Okay.
My gut says USC here, just because I don't love how Oregon's been playing.
Yep.
I am going to take USC. I think to cover, I wouldn't mess around with the money line there in terms of taking the win. Real quick here as we wrap up the segment. Georgia Tech, 2.5-point favorite against Pitt at home. That's 7-3 Pitt, 9-1 Georgia Tech. There's both just one loss in the ACC. Pitt has a shot at the ACC title still. How you feeling?
Well, Narduzzi said that this was the most important 2 weeks of their season, was it not? So
he did.
They have to be able to get this one.
The dues.
Georgia Tech has been riding the line of basically being a team that could be 5-6,
collapse.
or just being a top 25 team. The pressure is going to mount on them at some point, and turnovers will be a big factor. I think Pittsburgh might be able to nip them here. So I'm going to actually take Pittsburgh outright. That line is a little too close for me to feel comfortable saying, oh, yeah, Georgia Tech's for sure the better team. I don't think that there's that distinctive a line between the two. I will lean towards Pittsburgh, and I would actually take a money line as well.
I'm taking Georgia Tech here because I think Pat Narduzzi's weird stance last week is just a bad kind of juju to put over a team. And
melted their mentality.
This game doesn't matter and whatever. I think that's a bad way to head into a football game. I think it bites them. I've got Georgia Tech here to not just win, but cover the 2.5 as well. All right, last one before we get to Nebraska. BYU, Cincinnati, classic Big 12 matchup. BYU is a 2.5-point favorite on the road at Cincinnati. Speaking of teams that kind of run through the raindrops a little bit, BYU has fit that mold all year long. How are you feeling about the Cougars and the Bearcats?
It's tough. I don't know what to think because I think Cincinnati almost fell into free fall just like a couple of weeks ago, and they definitely felt that way. I feel like I have to trust BYU, and I think I would lean that way. And I would hate putting any money on this. So I guess like speaking rhetorically, if I have to go one way, I'm going to trust BYU in that sense.
Stay away from me, but
yeah. But like personally, I don't want to touch that because again, it's in that Big 12 pool of like I don't really know what's going on over there. I'm just gonna like let them fight it out and figure it out. But I guess I'd lean BYU in there.
I'm choosing the narrative that I need. That is Cincinnati being a good team and winning here. I've got the Bearcats. I'm taking them to pull the upset. Although it is at home, I do think it's on the table.
Yeah.
All right. Nebraska, Penn State. Nebraska is currently a 7.5-point dog. That's down a field goal from where it opened. You know how I feel. How do you feel?
I feel the same way that I was talking about before. I think it's going to be a 4-quarter game. It's going to be close. Both teams average just under 29 points per game. So whatever that total point is, take the under because I think this is going to be a much closer game. I'm going to say, and I'll even give you a final, I think it's 17-13 Nebraska. And I think they score in the fourth quarter to take that lead and win the game.
I'm going Nebraska. I think they win. I think they cover. And I think it's 28-20. That's what I've said all week. That's what I think it is. I think Nebraska wins this game. I think Penn State shows why they're a 4-6 ball club.
28's been a good number for Nebraska.
Why they are 1-6 in Big Ten play.
Mm-hmm.
Because whatever their talent level, they have not found ways to win games. I think Nebraska, like you said, has been the opposite of that this year. They find ways to win games. They've played well. I think they go out and in front of a not that hostile Happy Valley. I think Nebraska wins this game 28-20. Regardless of what happens, it'll be me and are you on post game or is it Rico this week?
It's Rico.
It'll be me and Rico on Hail Varsity post game immediately following the game to give our reactions to however this one goes. But you'll know there might be much happier reactions if Nebraska wins like we think.
Yeah, I'm for it.
There you go. That is the
Come
show.
on, baby. Come on.